Łudzinika.
SOS has not been doing as well in individual leagues here in Korea, but I just don't think you can ever count out SOS.
Something about him. Yeah.
And whenever he's not doing incredibly well, he will make a comeback in there.
Yeah,
Zest, though, very good. I mean,
I did go with Zest. I think that was the safe choice, but SOS was always fantastic at best of ones for PvP. We saw that all the time. He would go up against Hero and win like 3 or 4 of them in a row at Pro League, specifically for best of one. So the guy's got it in him, but is he going to be able to take out Zest, a guy who's definitely top 3 Protoss so far for Legacy of the Void?
That's a tough one. I'll say SOS can prepare for a best of 1, a best of 3, or a best of 5 and a best of 7. He's really good at that. That's one of his biggest strengths, is not just that he knows a lot and can play well, but he knows how to win given the quantity of games that's handed to him.
And knowing the opponent as well, he knows what kind of strategy to try to trick him out. You know, we used to call him the trickster for a reason.
And also, let's keep in mind that Zest has had a lot of games out there right now. So SOS definitely has a lot of data that he can mine through, that he can farm from to get a build where he might be able to take out Zest in this one game. But I think there's really no right answer as far as predictions go. It's a pretty tough call.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to see here. The map is going to be Orbital Shipyard, so we got another 2-player map with a back door. There's a lot of room to hide stuff if we want to see SOS go for something tricky.
I mean, especially even just in the main and the expansion. I mean, we could see something really crazy here. Whoa, it's so even. What?
That's insane. Well, I guess SOS has to win, right?
That's right. The data has spoken. Oh, my God. 88 wins, 58 losses for SOS, 87 wins, 58 losses for Zest. So they could not be more evenly matched. Now, although SOS is ahead more in 1 win in his last 10 games, in the recent 10 games, it's 7 wins, 3 losses to 9 wins and 1 loss.
Zest is on a bit of a better streak, so I suppose he's got that on his side.
Perhaps slightly better form, slightly for Zest right now, but historically, SOS has made more of a splash in Starcraft 2 history. Yeah,
don't count this guy out for sure. I mean, he could definitely come out and surprise a lot of people. I'm sure to a lot of people wouldn't even be that big of a surprise if he did take this game against Zest.
You can see, though, wow, I might have been totally wrong here. You can see either historically it's 6-12, so Zest winning 2/3 of the games there.
Well, yeah, I mean, that does play into it a bit, but let's take a look at these predictions, actually. You and GTR going for SOS, the rest of us going with Zest.
Let's see what happens.
This is what you got to do, Tasteless, to catch up to Daehyun. You got to go for these.
That's right. I got to bet against Daehyun and either sink to the bottom or rise to the top, man.
Yeah,
There's only one or the other. All right. We are moments away from starting this match. By the way, guys, I just realized I forgot to tweet about this. Tell your friends to come in here and join us.
I forgot to tweet about it, too. Me and you are the worst at this.
We are the worst, man. Tell your friends to join us here at Pro League 2012.
Yeah, and we'll do a tweet in the break.
2016, by the way, not 2012. I don't even know how I was thinking about those 12. I was thinking about those 12 wins from Zest there. All right, guys, our map's Orbital Shipyard. This is game number 2. SOS against Zest. Over here in the upper right, in the red, it is SOS. And in the bottom left, in the blue, Zest.
So these guys chatting a bit before we did get into this game. SOS was like, "Come on, let me win some. You're doing so well. I don't have any individual tournaments to do well in, you know." And then he was at the end. Zest was just like, "No." Basically straight up, and SOS was like, okay, I'll try to do my best. We'll see what happens.
We've seen some cool builds from SOS previously on maps like this where he'll actually wall himself off and go for mass phoenixes, but that was pretty early on in Legacy of the Void. I'm not sure about the viability of a build like that as the game progresses. There always are strats in any game that you can implore right at the start because people haven't quite gotten the flow of things.
Exactly.
That may or may not have. Uh-oh, we're not going to get this guy's picture.
Whoa. Ooh. He's got some nice drawings there.
Which one was me on there? Was I the guy with the guns?
I don't know, man. They all kind of look the same.
Gateway's going to finish here. We're going to get close to the cybernetics core completing, and then we're going to know what these guys have in store for us. Keep in mind, in Protoss versus Protoss, canceling a much bigger option. Giving somebody false information can be pretty huge, and you can end up redirecting their build entirely while you go for some other kind of tech. It looks like he's doing a good job of delaying the gas being made over here.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
You got another couple of crazy signs there saying a bunch of 2s. It's 22nd of February, this and that. He's got 2 wins. But Zest going for a pretty cool build, goes for a faster Nexus, whereas SOS is in the red. That's kind of interesting. He's playing against KT Rolster, but SOS going for more of a standard build. Gonna make a pylon in the main, actually.
He's done this a couple times. We don't have the Mothership Core coming down, right? No, we don't.
No.
He's just doing this to get his opponent to panic. SOS's playstyle has been so weird. We've seen many times. Okay, so he's just trying to freak him out right now.
And he's letting these pylons finish, too.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, you know what? I take it back. He is going to do this. If you guys have seen SOS in previous games, even in Heart of the Swarm, he did a lot of crazy stuff where he'd make pylons and try to scare him, and then he'd cancel.
Yeah.
But this time around, he's not doing that.
He's letting these pylons finish just to direct the attention away from the probe so that he can make more pylons.
You lose about 1 mineral a second for every probe that's not mining. And he's coming up here now with this Adept. He's starting to take out as many probes as he possibly can.
Yeah, just focusing down the probes. Wants to get at the economy of Zest.
Okay, good control there. Keeps that last probe alive. Meanwhile, probes cannot mine from this expansion down here. Good play there by Zest. He actually puts a pylon to deny the expansion from being planted down there.
Mothership Core is coming around here. May want to go for an overcharge. Yeah, is going to push this back. Barely keeps that probe alive at the same time.
What a game. And by the way, there's an Oracle coming up here that might be able to come down over here. Nice micro.
Oh that Mothership Core.
He's got to be careful, man. This is really like a dicey situation. With the 3 Stalkers, he should be able to take it out no problem.
Yeah, I wish almost that SOS had made another pylon, but I guess he's running out of energy. This strategy is kind of running out of time. He's just trying to draw the attention away, and this Oracle's heading straight for the main.
I don't think that Zest has ever even seen anything like this. And now he's going to come in. Keep in mind right now that it is Zest. He was with a supply lead, with probes, excuse me, and that's just now become a slight lead here over for SOS after this crazy game where I'm not even sure. I'm not going to lie, Valdez, this is one of the harder games to cast in my life because it's so unclear as to what's going on. From SOS, but it seems like it's working. One thing about SOS, he's such a good player. He's the only guy that can play like this consistently and win championships.
Yeah, a very tricky guy. I'm kind of scared for him, though. He has no second Nexus. Second Oracle is going to come in here. There's a lot of Stalkers in position to push this back.
He'll take the Nexus back there. And so, yeah, but I think you are pointing out something that is a bit problematic, right? He, with 2 Nexuses, you're making probes at twice the rate, obviously. So after all is said and done, it seems like this game still leans slightly towards Zest as far as developed tech, having expansions up for longer. And from here, it looks like Zest wants to go for DTs. That may be something that SOS is not necessarily ready for. It's normally not people who are ahead slightly to go DTs. It's people who are behind.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this is that even though he's got 2 Oracles out on the map, he knows he's behind. He's going to be looking for damage at any corner, so these Oracles are not going to be at home.
Check it out, man. This is so cool. He's getting 2 Nexuses, so he's going to use the Oracles to take out probes if Zest tries to leave. And instead, if he doesn't leave, then he should get an econ boost. Yeah. Otherwise, now it's going to be up to Zest to somehow figure out how to get out of here by either taking out the Oracles first and then pushing, or setting up some kind of trap for the Oracles, because an attack over here on SOS, if he's not ready, will cost him the game.
Oh, is this Warp Prism. It looks like SOS has not seen it. And in fact, he is sending his oracles back home.
Okay, right now, Zest knows exactly what SOS is doing here. He's going to see the 3 bases. This may trigger Zest to come out here. Possibly with this Warp Prism harass. He wants to be careful with that because there's a Phoenix in the game as well, so that can be shot down.
Yeah, and we got a couple of stasis wards out on the map. There was one actually at the 3rd base. Ooh, nice snipe there on that observer. It looks like SOS sniped Zest's one.
He's going to go for a DT drop here in the main. Now, is he going to be ready? I'm not entirely sure.
Well, he's got 2 oracles back there, so as long as he does pull his probes, he should be okay. But it doesn't look like he realizes this just yet, and the DT's already getting a bunch of kills.
Yeah, doing a good job here, taking out these probes. Nice tag there. Should allow him to take out this 1 DT over here now. There's still one more wreaking havoc over here at the 2nd base. Meanwhile, at the 3rd, another DT comes in and starts doing a serious amount of damage. Keep in mind, worker count now 34 to 51 with Zest in a pretty convincing lead.
Yeah, well, SOS does have that 3rd Nexus, so he's going to try to catch up here with 3 probes being in at a time. Finally, this 1 Phoenix starting to pay off. He did snipe the Observer and is now going for this Warp Prism, which he should be able to eventually get. There's no defense here for Zest on the map just yet.
Okay, so, excuse me. So he does manage to take that out. I believe if this game goes on for longer, it's going to be more problematic here for SOS, but let's keep in mind, if the supplies are this even, that does mean SOS actually has a more technical army at his disposal here.
And we talked about this before, how this map is really hard to attack into that 3rd base. So,
yeah, for sure it is.
PvP has historically been pretty hard to attack into the defending player. That used to be more true when it was basically, you know, Blink Stalker, Colossus, but
these clunky death balls that just could not quite engage each other.
I mean, we still got a slightly defensive advantage if you have a bunch of disruptors in position. You have the overcharges as well for your pylons, stuff like that. But I don't think we should see either of these players attack for a little bit here, just because of how easy it is to defend that 3rd base.
Okay, so he's going to try to take down these rocks over here. I believe we're going to have some Tempests coming into this game.
Yeah, looks like it.
Let's see how this works out. Now, Tempest can usually allow a player who's behind to stretch the game out. The elasticity of the defense becomes much larger with a guy who's got Tempest, backing him up, because you can defend from a greater distance, you can defend a larger location, but
yeah, it's very good for discouraging your opponents from attacking into you for sure.
Now, I think the response to that is actually probably the best that we can see here from Zest. He's going to take the bottom center base, since if you are to go for Tempest here, they're not going to be... Oh, nice, and he's actually going to get a Mothership. Okay, he is getting Tempest too. I think taking another base here for Zest, that's the correct answer.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to do.
Let me see if he's actually seen this just yet. To go into the main here. He has seen the Stargate, but I'm not sure if he knows about these Tempests just yet. So
yeah, he might not.
That could be a bit of a problem, actually, for Zest. If you need to get some kind of counter out for the Tempest.
I think it'll only be a problem for Zest if Zest attacks in and then doesn't, deal with that properly when he sees that there's Tempest there. And speaking of which, it looks like Zest is going to move out. Now, Zest might not be aware that, in fact, the supplies are closer than they seem, because if I was in his position and I was playing this game, I would have no clue. After the guy made pylons in my base, it didn't do much, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, he's got a nice little Blink Stalker for us here. He's going to use that to poke. The Tempests have just come out, and he is going to, in fact, reveal them. So I think Zest does have to back off, unless he's going to try to blink under them.
Yeah, he could try that. There are Immortals there, which don't fare well for Stalkers.
Yeah.
He is going for that Zealot Archon army. Now, we've seen a lot of different unit compositions in StarCraft 2, especially in PvP. We've seen it where it's like Stalker Disruptor. We've seen Zealot Archon Immortal. It looks like they started out Stalkers, which is forced into that by having to defend, and then later on attacks over here. Okay, hold up. Now, he's using the Mothership Core to keep this cloaked. That will drive the army out, but certainly won't keep that additional base alive.
Yeah, bases go down. Zest 100% knows what's going on now. Looks like his response is just going to be getting a bunch more Stalkers. And he already has a nice little chunk of chargeless to deal with. The Zealots can get on top of those, get the fire from the Immortals onto the Zealots instead of the Stalkers, and then maybe go for a big blank.
Now, guys, let's not forget that PvP, it really does come down to how the fight happens. If you make a few mistakes, you can be ahead an entire game and then just lose. And I'm not sure if that's going to happen up here, but we do see that Zest is coming up right now, going for the mothership core, or mothership rather.
Oh, Stasis Ward!
Oh, that was so good! He's going to do so much damage to this. This was the mistake that he needed to have happen. Now he's got them knocked back.
Yeah, he's fighting essentially against half the army for a long time with these Tempests. It really does help out. But once this runs out...
let's see. It's going to run out right now. Somewhat of a puny army underneath that, though.
He's got another Stasis Ward that just went out.
He does have another one. Oh, my God. That is so cool what he's doing. Is it going to work, though? I'm not entirely sure.
He's got DTs in the army, too, if he can snipe the Observer. But Zest has got it in the back. Actually, SOS just going to go for a recall onto the third base.
Yeah, that might do it there. He's very low on HP on that mothership. But remember that, Zest doesn't have to try to go for the kill here. Okay, nice. Takes that out. He only has to keep him off additional bases.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, Zest at this point, he's really got SOS cornered. He could even take a fifth base if he wants to.
You beat me to it. That's what I was thinking as well, is like taking a fifth base is probably the way to go.
I mean, he's got so many resources right now, but I guess he just wants to use it all on trying to kill SOS before SOS does get too many Tempests out on the map. But
yeah, it seems like it. I mean, I guess SOS is kind of stuck going Tempest mothership.
Yeah, pretty much.
With one mothership, right?
Looks like he's going to try to switch into Disruptors at the same time, but I don't really see how that's going to work on 3 base. He's already mined out his main. Nice job keeping the Archon here as well to deny that base. Same thing that SOS actually did for the 5th base of Zest.
Okay, now he's going to go for Disruptors with this. This might be effective, assuming Zest doesn't end the game right away. Okay, he's here once again, now taking out these gateways.
Couple time warps going down. He's got SOS cornered, but it's a very defensive position. It's going to be hard to get to those Tempests in the back.
Yeah, he does take out the Robo Bay, by the way, so no more Disruptors there from him. Well, I spoke too soon. There's another one inside the main, but the production's been cut in half. And continuing to just shave down this army. Now, I'm not sure if this is the way that Zest should go about this. If he can close it out, it certainly is. Oh, the Disruptor! Oh, man, a huge misplay there.
Could not afford to use that.
Oh, my God.
Huge Stasis Ward goes off.
I am so glad that we had this game here, because this is like a game that we never have cast. And I feel like this is SOS and Legacy, guys.
I want to say, even if SOS doesn't win this, he's beginning to spark ideas in everybody's mind right now that could be used for the future of Protoss in general in Legacy of the Void.
Okay, we have one Disruptor out here. If he could send this in over here, can he do it?
He's avoiding it for now, maybe waiting for the blank. Still not going for it, does lose it.
That should be the game here, I think, as he's just going to get overrun. But I mean, talk about cool games here from SOS. Despite it losing, you can see the idea behind it is actually incredibly profound. You know, just stunning the army like that.
Coming in, trying to focus down that mothership.
Yeah, I kept calling it, able to get it. I kept calling it the mothership core too. I'm so used to just calling it a mothership core.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, economically, SOS is in shambles. Zest is free to roam around and consume all the resources on the map. And, it seems like SOS can kind of just zerg this, just keep mass producing and maybe overrun him.
Well, we do have 5 Archons here.
Yeah.
Waiting for the defense for Zest.
Now, although the supplies are the same, you can see the army supply is bigger from SOS, but of course it lacks mobility.
Yeah, and Zest, I think he's correctly identified that he's very far ahead in the economy. He's made 4 Stargates, and he's going to go into what looks like mass Void Ray to deal with all these Tempests.
I'll tell you something, man. I think he might have overmade those Stargates, that he barely has enough gas to support that. If he gets too cocky here, he can lose this, okay?
He's thinking like Heart of the Swarm economy almost. Like he should have an extra base still mining or something like that, but...
Yeah, I'm serious, he can't.
I think he needs another base if he's going to do this.
Yeah, I don't think he actually has the resources to just steadily produce from 4 Stargates without having like basically nothing but Void Rays, which are not hard to deal with, by the way.
Oh, wow, look at this. The entire army of SOS going back to stop this one War Prism. Has to cancel this base. I mean...
Yeah, nice job by him there. I gotta say, it's kind of commendable that SOS has been in this game for this long, but I'm not sure. I don't think there's any way that he can come back. I would love to see that, but that seems pretty far-fetched, at least from this point out.
Trying to stick it through. He's really trying to stay in this game.
I mean, I guess he might as well. He still has some minerals left on that base outside of his main, and then he can, if he can secure that other base. Oh, there would be something if he got those probes. Now he's going to come through here. He will see the Void Rays being produced.
Yeah, and...
Oh, no, he hasn't. He didn't actually see that. Can you double check, Valdez?
Yeah, let me see.
No, he didn't actually see that.
No, he hasn't seen the Stargates.
Okay.
So.
Well, here comes another attack over here. We have some Void Rays in this army. Mass amount of Archons here on the ground. Got to control very carefully. And I'm not sure. Okay, maybe with this he can break that.
Zest taking it very slow for now.
Looks like he's just going to be hitting those cannons over there. Doing a nice job kiting those Void Rays, by the way.
Yeah, SOS is sticking in this one. He's still got a nice group of Tempests in the back, really sieging this base.
Oh! Okay, almost taking out all those Stalkers. Going to continue to come back here. Needs to target very carefully with those Tempests.
Does Zest actually have any observers with this? Yeah, okay, he does. I needed that for the DTs.
That's right. Just right over the Archon there.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure at first. He takes it the Nexus yet again in kind of a funny-looking fashion. We actually see Zest expanding to the upper left here. Yep, all he has to do is be careful against that, and he should be all right.
Ooh, gets a nice disruptor shot, but
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does not matter.
GG.
Okay.
Wow.
Nicely done, Zest. Your winner, guys, for game number 2.
That was just a really cool game in general. I mean, SOS was doing really funky stuff with the Oracle that I haven't really seen so far all that much.
Yeah, I mean, we were seeing that used to stop workers from expanding and things like that, but I mean, he's actually using that for a completely different purpose.
And he's doing it really sneakily, too, where he'll put one in the front, and half the army of Zest, or almost all of it, does get frozen there, but then he'll put one like right underneath his Tempest, too, so if the Stalkers blink in, a large portion of them are going to get frozen, and then he's only fighting against maybe a third of Zest's army. So it's really cool for just baiting tactics, especially if you're going for a composition like SOS did in that game.
Man, well, I'll tell you something. Zest did a good job that game, but SOS definitely taught us all something.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely an educational moment for everybody here in Legacy of the Void. Just seeing him stay alive like that. Imagine if it wasn't Zest in there. I think he could have come back.
Yeah.
I think SOS could have won that.
Definitely could have had a chance. If he played it, slightly better. If his opponent made a couple more mistakes. And we are going to go into Trap versus TY next. As you guys do see there, it is 1-1 so far between Jenner and KT.
Personally, on that one, I'm going to go for TY. What about you?
Me too, yeah.
All right, well, let's see what happens, guys. We're going to go to a short break. When we return, game number 3 here in our first day today of Pro League 2016.